can't really have design without money. Okay, there are very rare cases where that's possible, but I think for the majority of what we do as designers, whether we're architects, fashion designers, filmmakers, etc., without capitalism, you can't really have design. So that's my kind of proposition to the audience today. On the left-hand side, this is a very famous image of Model T, first mass-produced car, and the factory behind it. So there's always architecture in the background. I never forget about architecture. But the image on the right-hand side, a full 100 years later, is the Foxconn factory. So Foxconn, I think some of you know, makes iPads, and this is where all the mass suicides happened last year, actually. And what strikes me is that instead of cars, we now have people and iPads rolling out of exactly the same kind of architecture. So for me, this is a very telling image. It means the products have changed, technology has changed, society has changed, but actually architecture hasn't changed that much. On the left-hand side, we have what is seemingly an iPhone, but actually these are sanjai. Yeah, I think you all know what sanjai is, right? Fake copies, mass customized or self-customized iPhones, which you can buy in Shenzhen. Anything from 25, the cheapest one's probably from 25 renminbi to 100-something renminbi. You can customize it, you can even reinvent the iPhone. I call that creative, you know, and that's personal choice, right? And it makes a lot of money. Actually, Sanjai iPhones actually makes more money than the real iPhone. So who says no design is cheap? Actually, no design actually makes more money than real design. So my question really for China is, what is design culture today? Do we want fake or do we want real? Do we want cheap or do we want expensive? Good friend of mine from Tsinghua University coined a term, PPT City, and I think we all architects know this story. Actually, what's really important is not the real product, but the PPT you create, right? And ever since Photoshop and Koolhaas has talked about it, it's the rendering that counts. It's not even the model. The model is secondary. It's the rendering, and I'm very privileged right now to be working on a project right now where the client is actually asking for the rendering before the concept, before the product, before the numbers, before anything. The rendering comes first, right? And we're debating what kind of rendering should it be? Should it be a rendering? Should it be an animation? Etc., etc. So back to, I think, very interesting, back to my fake copy art stuff and Marco's Porsche. I love that story. Is what's the value of prototyping nowadays? What's the value of prototyping in our digital, again, I'm going to throw this back as a question. When prototyping becomes so easy, when simulation of different cultures, different images, different technologies becomes so easy, when we have so-called parametric design that can give us 10,000 iterations, right, with a script, where is the value of real prototyping? Where is that stair detail drawn by hand that Marco was talking about? I'm not necessarily agreeing with that, but I'm asking everyone to really think about that when we're out there on the front line.